I think there's a very real risk that Trump will withdraw from NATO. I hope it doesn't happen. Maybe his advisors in a second term can distract him enough that he doesn't get around to it. But I think it's his intention to withdraw. He doesn't understand what alliances are all about. They don't fit his day-to-day transactional view of the world. I think that would be a catastrophic mistake for the United States to withdraw, but I think it's something people should worry about.
Deze man is u waarschijnlijk nooit opgevallen, maar hij speelt al tientallen jaren een belangrijke rol in de Amerikaanse politiek.
Bolton's worked in every Republican administration since Ronald Reagan's, and he's been the loudest hawk in all of them.
Hij was erbij toen Mark Rutte in 2018 op bezoek kwam bij Trump. En hij stond vooraan toen Trump alle Europese regeringsleiders schoffeerde tijdens de NAVO-top in datzelfde jaar.
Can you tell us whether or not you warned people that the U.S. would pull out of NATO if they weren't meeting their spending goals?
I told people that I'd be very unhappy if they didn't up their commitments very substantially.
Hij weet dat het Trump toen al menens was en dat hij eigenlijk toen al de NAVO wilde verlaten.
Trump wanted Europeans to meet the 2% target, not to make NATO stronger, but to give him an excuse to withdraw from NATO when they didn't.
We spreken John Bolton in Washington D.C., waar hij ons meeneemt achter de schermen in zijn jaren in het Witte Huis onder Trump.
Well, I said in my book that working in the Trump White House was like living inside a pinball machine. He could make one decision in the morning, change it in the afternoon, and change it the next day. So it was very hard to have a coherent policy that we could consistently pursue, both within the U.S. government and with our allies.
Dat Trump onberekenbaar is, wordt door hemzelf als zijn grootste kracht gezien. Maar Bolton denkt er anders over.
Well, the issues in national security are long-term. And certainly any new administration can change direction and policy, but allies in particular would like to know what that direction is, and they'd like to know that the direction they're following on one day will be the same as the next, unless there's a discussion or a reason to change. I think actually with adversaries, it's much the same. If they understand the direction that we're taking, there's less likely for misunderstanding and conflict. Trump didn't seem to get that was. He thought that his personal relations really were the determining factor, and that's a big mistake because it exposed him as vulnerable to flattery and to the charm of the opposing leader to try and get him to do what they wanted to do.
En het ego van Trump zorgt vaker voor problemen.
Well, there was a time in the summer of 2019 when, after a number of provocations by Iran, they shot down an American drone. And this was a big, sophisticated drone in international airspace over the Persian Gulf. And we had a national security meeting, a decision-making process that I would have to say for all the participants in it followed the classic paradigm of how you're supposed to make a decision. We were ready to go, and at the last minute, Trump called it off. And he called it off not only at the last minute, the next day he tweeted that we were about to strike, and then he decided not to. All of this being about Donald Trump, showing that he was at the center of things. Well, of course he's at the center of things. He's the president. Nobody believed anything differently, and yet we missed a big opportunity. We showed how decisions could be made. They were made and then reversed on the spur of the moment.
Bolton was een van de mensen in de eerste regeerperiode van Trump die de president nog een beetje kon afremmen. Maar maakt zich grote zorgen over een tweede termijn als mensen zoals hij er niet meer zijn.
Because he doesn't fully understand the magnitude of the issues he faces. He sees everything through the prism of whether it benefits Donald Trump. That explains positions he takes on many, many issues. That's not the job of the President of the United States. And I think Trump did a lot of damage in his first 4 years, mostly repairable. But in a second 4-year term, he might do damage that's irreparable. And that would be bad for the United States, bad for the alliances.
En het grootste gevaar ligt dus bij de NAVO, waar Trump nog steeds duidelijk geen fan van is.
This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO.
De NAVO bestaat deze week 75 jaar. Maar als Trump president wordt, kan Mark Rutte maar beter zijn borst nat maken.
He may not have thought through the implications of being the Secretary-General who presides over the end of the organization.
Om dat te voorkomen zou Rutte volgens Bolton een voorbeeld moeten nemen aan de voormalige Japanse premier Shinzo Abe.
I think the best model for a European leader or the Secretary-General of NATO would be Shinzo Abe from Trump's first term, the Japanese prime minister, who worked very hard to try and persuade Trump on the issue of North Korea and China. And he worked at it assiduously and had mixed success, but he did better with Trump than any other foreign leader I saw.
Met engelengeduld Trump masseren is dus wat Rutte moet doen als hij dit najaar de baas wordt bij de NAVO. Maar op de man afgevraagd denkt Bolton niet dat de NAVO nog bestaat als Trump herkozen wordt.
Well, I don't think it will be much of an organization without the United States if Trump withdraws. That's right.